Welcome, my good people. All right, people saying they here. Cooper, what's happening? Cooper say, hey, friends and family. Dito is here. EJ is here. All right, what's happening, people? How's everyone doing? I'm just waiting for Chrissy to arrive, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting, so I decided to get it started. And we can just share in the meantime until she arrives. So if you guys would be... Hold on, you can't hear me? Hold on 1 second. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me now? I see Dito say he couldn't hear me. Can everyone hear? Is it just Dito? Or can the rest of you hear me? Hey, Kyra. What's happening, Nelson? All right. Dito says good. Okay, good. We're good to go. All right. There we go. Oh, shoot. Look at Melbourne trying to make me feel good. Say hello, sexy bald head man. Well, hello, Melbourne. How you doing? All right. Okay, Dito says, hear you now. Good stuff. Sharon doing the creepy, pervy eyes. We got Elisa say, I got the Guardian talk radio online as well as your live video going. And I hear both. Okay, all right. Boy, Elisa from Canada, and she more in tune to the Bahamas than a lot of you all Bohemians. All right, Sarnetta says, I can hear your sound loud and clear. And I want to shout out, a big shout out to Nadia. I saw Nadia in person for the first time on Father's Day as we took our father to Atlantis for brunch on Sunday. She stopped me in the casino and gave me a nice big hail and wished me happy Father's Day. So shout out to Nadia. So it was good seeing her. What's happening, Andrew? Boy, Andrew shouting all kind of exclamation mark. All right. We got Michelle hailing. And Elisa says she's got to keep current. That's true, Elisa. You got to keep current, especially this day and age where we have so much going on in the Bahamas. A serious time. First of all, tonight is going to be a big night for the Bahamas as prospect DeAndre Ayton, son of the soil, is expected to be drafted number 1 in the NBA draft tonight at 7, which I have it on ESPN right now, waiting to watch that happen. So that's a big moment as he'll be the first Bahamian to be drafted in the NBA as the top pick since Michael Thompson. I think that was, I can't remember the exact year, but it was way back when, probably in the 70s. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. When was Michael Thompson taken first in the NBA draft? So DeAndre Ayton, we all expect him to be taken number 1 tonight in the NBA draft. So I'm excited. Rume says she's viewing from Louisiana. Why? Thank you, Rume. We appreciate it. Andrew say, what's up? I eating Chinese. Well, good for you, Andrew. Like I told people before, I have stopped eating Chinese since it's been about 22 years now or so, since I was in the 7th grade. It has nothing to do with Chinese people on the whole, but it's just that I was traumatized as a young 7th grader to Aquinas. We had a Chinese restaurant right in front of the school auditorium. And boy, look here. I thought I was eating spring chicken for the longest time until someone tell me, you know that ain't chicken, right? And so I said, what? They say, yeah, man, you eating frog legs and thing, man. I say, what? Never again. So ever since that day, I haven't eaten Chinese since. Nothing against the Chinese personally. If you all decide to eat Chinese, that's on you all. You know, I ain't gonna tell nobody what to do. You all know my thing. I ain't trying to tell you how to live your life or what to do. I tell you what I do and how I view things. But if you decide to eat Chinese, that's on you. Go ahead. Enjoy. That's on you, buddy. And I guess Andrew trying to be tropsy because of that video that came out recently that had the Chinese digging in some kind of, what was it, some kind of sewage or sewer or something. Say they trying to get some oil or something to cook the food in. And I understand this is something that is also practiced in China. That video started making the rounds, and I saw Eyewitness News did a whole segment on it last night on the news. So, hey, if you want to go ahead and eat Chinese, go ahead, buddy. That's on you. Denise says she's watching from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Why, thank you, Denise. We appreciate you for tuning in. Um, Nelson Thompson says, Michael Thompson, my good uncle from Mangrove Key. Hold on, man. I thought, oh no, I think about somebody else. It's the other guy that was from Eleuthera. Oh, what's his name? Aye, it escapes me right now. What you eating? Boy, Andrew, you like dog fool now. Well, Andrew, all I can say is I hope you're enjoying it and I hope it tastes good. I hope they provide you with some extra sauce on your Chinese food and enjoy, my brother. But like I say, I don't eat Chinese. That's on you, buddy. It ain't gonna be me. But we're gonna get into the WorstMonster system. I like that name for it. I've heard all kind of different names. I heard someone said the Worstminster, someone said the WorstMonster. So I say, how about the WorstMonster system? So we're going to get into it because that's been dominating the news lately. The whole budget passing and they calling them all kind of names. You know, we got to have some kind of catchy name here in the Bahamas for people that go against the grain, and so they calling them the Rebel Four, or so you know they coming up with all kind of funny names for the guys that actually decided to vote against the raise in VAT. We've discussed it for the past couple of shows, so you know, come July 1, VAT is going to be going up from 7.5% to 12%, and there are 4 FNM MPs that decided that their constituents could not handle a raise in taxes, and that would be Vaughn Miller, Travis Robinson, McAlpine, and Chipman, Reese Chipman. And so Chipman had already lost his government post, but the other 3, I think 2 of them were parliamentary secretaries. I think that's Vaughn and Travis. Parliamentary secretary Travis was in the Ministry of Tourism. Vaughn, if I'm not mistaken, was in social services. And McAlpine, I think, had a chairman position. So he wasn't a member of the cabinet. He just had a government appointed post, which was a chairman of, I can't remember what it is, but he's a chairman in some, department. And he was fired. The 3 of them were fired. And the funny thing is, and I mean, this is how you know our government can't even get things right. They fired Travis Robinson, and from what I understand, the section or the policy that they cited on his letter was the wrong section. So they fired him under the wrong terms, according to the letter, from what I understand. I'll have to look over the letter again and then go over the section that was cited on the letter. But apparently, they sent him the letter and cited the wrong section and fired him. So technically, he isn't fired because they cite the wrong section. So technically, I understand Travis isn't fired, but, it is what it is. This is the Bahamas. We can't see him to get nothing right in this country. Okay, Chrissy Reach, let me put her up right now. Christina Blacksmurf Thompson.
I love you too, Greg.
What you saying, gal?
In addition to not knowing about how your country is run, you young people have no idea of the significance of the head wrap.
Watch your mouth, sweet girl.
The significance of the head wrap.
Now, I appreciate that you call me young, but don't you ever try and put me in this category that I don't know how my country is run. I understand how the system is run, and I've been telling you all this from a long time.
Well, you're one of the rare young people who understand. But, we don't blame y'all. We blame the first 25 years of sovereignty, where we had people keeping the populace ignorant and dumb and deficient, because civics was never a priority. Because if I teach you how your country runs, and if I give you tools to be educated, then I can't defecate all over you. But nonetheless, here's where we are. I love the WorstMonster. I love that one. That's a good one.
Because the WorstMonster rules. You understand?
That's a good one.
And
why y'all upset though? The WorstMonster been from 1729. The Bahamas has enjoyed a parliamentary democracy. Y'all just remember to get mad now?
No, see, and that's the thing. And this is the good. This is the good thing about this situation, right? Is that it is exposing the holes and the cracks in the system that people didn't know were there. Because, people have busy lives, right? So they don't have time to really figure out all the intricacies and all the ins and outs of how this system is run. They have to worry about feeding their children, going to work, provide for themselves. People have things to do.
But so when you live in a country, ought you not know, like I've had some people, and I'm out of the business of correcting the ignorati. I've had people say, oh, how are they going to represent their constituency? The fact that you don't know how the government that you are a part of, because the government is the people as well, that you don't know that, and you don't, again, we're all busy. But you have to know there's certain things you need to know to be a productive citizen of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, of course, I accept the fact that, unfortunately, the legislators and the early persons who developed the nation did not teach this in our schools. So a lot of the ignorance is really a pitiful thing. But I don't care how busy you are. You got to know how you live in the nation that you exist in.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
I don't get it.
No, I agree. It's not an excuse. It's like more of an explanation. You know, there's a difference between an excuse and explanation. True. Just I understand the other side. You know what I mean? But like I said, things like this happening are good because now it's a conversation and now people are informing each other as to how things are run. But what sickens me is these arrogant people that come out, they just research something and they want to feel smart, so they have to tell everybody, well, hey, this the rules, this how it works. Y'all don't know how y'all country works. Listen, you just look that up. You just find it out yourself. Don't act like you some all-knowing.
People know it. Now, but the thing is, now separate the people who honestly do know it from the political spin doctors. Like I have a lot of friends who support the FNM. I support the FNM. And I see a lot of the spin doctors just trying to denigrate people because they did not know. Conversely, when the PLP was in power. And by the way, dear PLP, you're the ones who are responsible for the dumbness of the nation. Thanks for that first 25 years. But the thing is, there are many people who, you're right, they do not know, but there are a lot of people who do know. And this has not happened. This is nothing new. This has happened in our country's history with every prime minister. No,
I agree. But you know what also bugs me is when that's their only thing. Hey, that's the rules. That's the way it goes.
That's
okay, because
slavery was a rule.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Because something is the rule or law, it does not mean that it's right. And that's people's position. We are saying that this is not right. We're not saying, oh, well, they can't do it because this is against the rules. No one is saying that. And that's what I hated seeing, people attacking other people as though, oh, well, hey, that's the rules. What you going to do? Exactly. That's my point.
29. Now, one thing I do give Perry Christie credit for, because in his second incarnation of the Constitutional Commission, remember there were two. One just sat there and did nothing. Rest in peace, cousin Paul Adley. And of course, the second one had this big old report, but still ain't changed nothing. And so the thing is, Perry Christie attempted to look at how the country is run, attempted to look at a constitution. And ironically, we are basically copying off of Great Britain because this whole Westminster system. Look here, Bohemians can't damn say Westminster. So you expect
they always say in Westminster.
Anyway. So, and again, I try not to talk down to people, but somehow people are just ignorant. But the thing is, we've always had this system. We had a chance to change it. We didn't pressure and agitate. You didn't want to change it, obviously, or else it would have been changed. Again, nothing happens in the Bahamas without the tacit approval of Bahamians. And so I'm tired of people bitching and whining.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Exactly. And that's my thing. And that's what I've been saying, especially during the election period. It's like, I refuse, because I understand how the system works. So I refuse to vote for anyone that's a part of the major party because I know how it goes. I understand once you get elected under this party flag, you like what Carl Bettel say, your mortgage is to them. You have to vote.
If you have a position like a cabinet minister, like a parsec, remember, you're still an elected MP. And I think a lot of Bahamians in their lack of civics and their ignorance don't realize that they are still MPs with this current government. So they're still representing their people, but they do not have that cabinet, sort of quasi-cabinet position.
But this is why
you can disagree all you want, but in public, cabinet and all those positions deal with collective responsibility.
And this is the problem with how we have bastardized the system, because a lot of people are attacking the system, and for good reason. I don't think it's the right system for us either. I don't like the system either. And you can attack the system, but it's not necessarily the system, because we can tailor it to work much better for us. As you can see, like in the UK, for example, our problem is we mix up the bodies of government, right? They're supposed to be separate.
They're not separate.
No,
do you think the judiciary, the legislative, and the executive is separate?
This is what I'm explaining now, Chrissy. Watch, listen. This is what I'm saying. we have done that. It's supposed to be separate, right? That's what would help it operate the way it should.
But it can't be.
Yes, it can, because cabinet minister. Let me tell you how it can. Cabinet. Our problem is, and this is why they've realized how they can turn this into a dictatorship, because all this is a dictatorship. They freaking look like a democracy. It's not a democracy. This is a dictatorship.
But Bahamians act like they just have a problem
Hello? Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Christina? You have frozen. Okay, but let me explain, hopefully while Chrissy gets her internet sorted out, right? Like I was saying, we have bastardized the system because what we have done historically, and this is all parties, both parties that have been in
Sorry about
power.
that. That
No
was my
problem.
baby calling. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what they have done is they've realized that we so Johnson for big posts in position that if I appoint you to this big position, you can feel loyal. You can be like, you owe me and you have to do what I say, right? So what they do is they create all these cabinet positions and all these chairmanships and all these nice positions so that they can appoint the majority of the MPs to these positions so that they can be beholden to them. So we have bastardized the system. How it should be, there's no reason for us to have all of these cabinet ministers that we have, right? You have the big UK. They have about 600 MPs and like 20 cabinet ministers. And how many millions?
A country of how many million?
How many millions of people, and we got more cabinet ministers than them?
Because, and remember, one of the things I credit Hubert Ingram for, even though all of them get on my nerves, Pinling, Ingram, Christie, and now Minnis, is that, you know, we have mimicked this from Great Britain, who themselves don't have a written constitution. We know that the system was flawed when it was working against us when we were oppressed, but yet we have kept the same system.
Yes. Because it works for a select few.
Exactly. And the thing is, now, I said on my show today, I really think that Cousin Hubert is a genius. Because if the 4 MPs decided they don't want to be F&M MPs anymore, and they actually form their own opposition, they can have more people than the Chrissy PLP. I just want to see PLP dead.
I know, but no, Hubert Minnis is a genius.
Yeah, he's a genius. He's a super genius.
Oh, hell no. I will
he's
not.
Super genius.
I will not co-sign that because I believe Hubert Minnis is the biggest puppet on a string we have ever seen in the history of life. And they just hand him the paper. I say, listen, this is what you can say, hey? You read this, you don't sway from this, you go there and you read this. All right. I think he's the biggest puppet in life. But my thing is, we have done this, and this is why I refuse to support any major party candidate, because I know it goes and it's in their constitution. If you look at the party's constitution, they are beholden to the party, not the people that elect them. And it's like you said, people seem so surprised, but it's been this way for a very long time.
Pinling did it. Ingram did it.
Yes.
Christie did it.
Yes.
And now Minnis is doing it.
It's going to continue.
Bohemians expect change in a system that they have not changed. To me, that is psychotic.
Yes. And now it is. And it is ingrained in the culture, and it has sickened me to see all these political prostitutes coming out and defending it. What has upset me, right, Chrissy, is you don't find it funny how we like to cherry pick what rules we gonna abide by and what rules we ain't gonna abide by. All of a sudden, oh, hey, that's the Westminster system. That's the rules. I am obligated to follow the rules.
Right.
But you weren't obligated to follow the rules when you misled Parliament on the Oban deal, when you were given the wrong dates in Parliament. Why did you not resign as Prime Minister, sir? That's the Westminster system. Why didn't you be holding to the Westminster system then and follow the rules?
Now, the Westminster system has many layers to it. For example, when Hubert Ingram lost his seat, when his government lost the election and he resigned, everybody was criticizing him. But again, in the Westminster system, the convention is when a leader suffers that great loss, he steps off the scene. But you're right. We cherry pick. It's like religion. We just cherry pick what sins we want to say is wrong. And that's just human nature. Human nature. But the thing is, Hubert Minnis was between a rock and a hard place, because had he not dismissed them from their parlsec and chairman positions, he would have been seen as, oh, well, you're the prime minister and you're letting these people go against you.
No, but you know what, Chrissy, that's fine. I understand how the system goes, right? And I don't have a problem with him firing them, My problem is your reasoning. You understand? Don't just tell me, oh, well, hey, that's the rules, man. I got to do what I got to do.
No,
but you ain't applying the rules in other areas.
Their government.
Now, had he said, now, this is our position. This budget, this is what we are moving forward with.
He said that.
But he said what?
He said that you voted against the government's position on the budget. So therefore, when you vote against the government, you are essentially relieving yourself of the government posts.
Okay.
But let's be trapsy. Can you imagine losing $96,000 a year? Can you imagine being 21 years old and have 96 grand?
No, but he ain't gonna lose the 96. He still have.
Well, he's gonna lose all except maybe about 30.
I think the parliamentary secretary salary is like 45,000 or something like that.
No. All together. Remember, there's the MP salary,
and he's still getting that
salary,
right.
Allowance,
That's
the
why I say
perks and benefits.
he ain't gonna lose 96 because he's still getting his 28, and then he still have
28 grand.
That's a lot of money. A lot of people don't make that.
In the club, not
a lot of people don't make that, buddy.
No,
Trust me.
Child, I know, and that's what's sad. The Bahamians living on, I don't know, boy,
way less.
Well, I hope this wakes Bahamians up. What I hate about it, though, is that you have the sycophantic, kiss-ass opposition who's using this now to bolster themselves.
But that's what they always do.
The same rules against other people when you were in the seat.
Again, selective. We had a referendum. Perry Christie was supposed to step down when they lost. Did he use the Westminster system there?
It was an opinion poll.
No. Not just I ain't talking about the gaming one. I'm talking about when it comes to the gender equality referendum.
Yeah,
that's the one he should have stepped down from after.
He said he voted no against that, and then 5 years later it was yes.
But again,
they crazy.
Yes, we cherry pick, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know where I was trying to find out where I could find the declarations. I'm sure we have some MPs that have not declared, which is against the law. Against the law.
Now, but public disclosure was a thing that Lyndon Pinland brought that in 77. You know, I don't know. Is that constitutional? I don't think it is. But that was a law that they are supposed to disclose their assets, and we don't even follow that law because technically the permanent secretaries are supposed to disclose, the undersecretaries, high-ranking senior civil servants. But we don't do that because we've always been a nation of breaking and skirting the rules.
And this is what I'm
going to get all upset.
That is my, but this is my problem.
45 years later?
This is my problem with the people that are in support in terms of the people in government. Listen, if this could be a reason, you better be consistent. Don't just enforce some of the rules and some of the laws and just do it when somebody else break it. If you break it, because you remember Jeff Lloyd just said they understand that they broke the law just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, he said they break the law. Said that as the Minister of Education, and then the Attorney General came behind him and said, the man who's in charge of the laws came behind him and said that there were no laws broken.
So look
the
at
FNM suffers, the Bahamas government, and not just the FNM, for years, ever since I worked for the Bahamas government's public relations machinery, it has suffered severely because nobody wants to tell the friggin' truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell the people the truth.
Of course not.
Bahamians know the grave we've dug for ourselves. I mean, we have a lot of people who are the ignorati and the silly, but a lot of people know what's going on. They know what time it is.
But the thing is, the majority
don't. You petition. You got to do the work. And
see, but that's the thing.
I went to. Did you go to any of those constitutional meetings? I went to them. You could have skate through them. Hardly anybody was there. And I've been to the 2 times, and they had the public, consultation, the public meetings. Again, I used to go to all of those things. It's the same 25 people there at every event. And now you want bitch and wine.
See, that's the thing. And like I said, I think a lot more people are interested now.
Oh, now you interested.
Hey, better late than never. Hey, that's what they say. Better late than never. At least
civics.
Now.
The Bahamas needs a civics lesson. Many people in the country are ignorant as to how their country runs.
But the problem is we have very short memory. That's the thing now. See, they were smart to do this in the first year. Because now they have 4 years to manipulate the people and do some other things and make them feel better to try and get back in the good graces. Now, I don't know if they can get back after this, but they were smart to do it early on so that they have the next 4 years to try and get back into people's good graces. But you know what? The discussion I don't hear people talking about, right?
What's that?
Everybody talking about, the budget, this and that, and the Westminster system. We haven't even decided what we want in terms of the size of government, because this is the real problem, right? The problem is government, in my opinion, is way too big for the small country.
Of course
way too big.
The House of Assembly is too big, the Senate, and just think, again, Hubert Ingram, before he came to power in 1992, Lyndon Pinland had 49 seats.
Jeez.
Or 48,
why?
Something like that. Where the older people is.
Why?
We've always, because black people have said, oh, Lord, this is my time now. Let me poke up myself in government so someone could take care of me. And this is typical of all, a lot of Caribbean nations after independence, while we had to find our self-rule and self-reliance, a lot of us just ran right out. Everybody want to be poke up because let's keep it real. You have a car. You have, and when the PLP in charge, you ain't got to buy your gas. So I see we buying gas now for ministers.
Yeah, we got to pay for gas now.
You have allowance. You have prestige. You could walk into a place. I tell you, unfortunately, a lot of the people we elected are people who are broken and sudden, and they
Yes.
want to be important.
Yes.
So when I give you that position of importance, it is very difficult for you to let that go. That is why you saw our first prime minister who stayed on way longer than he should. You know, our leaders and legislators don't know when to leave because the thing's sweet. And
It's
a lot
sweet,
of our
sweet,
people, unfortunately, Gregory, and you know, I'm not saying this because I grew up middle class, borderline. I lacked as a child, but most of our people grew up poor and wanting. So when you finally get a little piece of billet, little power, little invitation, you ain't want to let that go, and you want the government pay for all your things.
Yep, and you
So
abuse
we
it.
know the government is too big for a nation of less than.
Hold on, but do we?
People.
Because I don't.
Yeah, we
I don't-
do.
But that's the thing. I don't hear anybody saying it.
Yeah, people have talked about it. Remember?
I don't hear enough people. See, that needs to be the real discussion, because the problem is what the government is doing right now, and this is what I fundamentally disagree with. The government is basically sucking money out of our pockets.
Yes.
And saying, hey, we know what best to do with the money. Give us more money so that we can spend it appropriately. And we have seen exactly, historically, we have seen that governments have been terrible with money management and spending.
And here's the rub. Here's the rub. The rub for me, especially I'm a nationalist. I'm also a centrist, and I'm also a patriot. The rub for me is that you're going to put more taxes on the people. Again, Bahamians don't get the taxes, the kind of taxes that we pay. We don't get the service for it.
Hell no.
Put those taxes into effect without the promised legislation about
Thank
transparency,
you.
accountability, and freedom of information.
Thank you.
And those who have shit on us, like the former cabinet ministers who we're trying to charge with crimes, they walking around town. We find $150 million yet for the hurricane money.
Scot-free.
And so that is the problem that we have. If we say we like the system, then let's put in the checks and balances.
Thank you.
Make
First,
the system work.
That's the problem. And I would have
people and then go back.
I would have felt
like grinding your girlfriend who got AIDS, and then you put the condom on after you finish. Ass.
That's a great analogy.
I thought about that all day for the show.
But I would have felt a lot better had we had the fiscal responsibility come beforehand, the freedom of information come. Now, had these things come and then you said, well, hey, now we want to raise VAT with these things in place, that's a different story. But y'all been wasting money for decades.
1973. From the
flushing
beginning.
It down the toilet. And are you expecting? That's like, you know, everybody got that uncle in their family, right? The failure, the drunkard who are on drugs, who are wasting money, who out there on the streets, right? And he always got to come. Anytime you come to visit, he come and ask you for money, right? That's
just
like,
give it to him, though.
That's my thing. That's the government right there.
But just give it to him.
The government is that uncle that frig up strung out on drugs and is an alcoholic and a failure in life, who we continue to give money, more and more money to, just to make him get his habits get worse. You understand? That's all we doing. So that's how I see the government.
And you know why it hurts too? And again, I take this, people say, oh, Chrissy, you take these things too personally. I take it personally because you have had people from 1973 who have frittered away our money, who have made piss poor decisions, who have done the most bullshit that is borderline criminal, and yet there are no consequences for their actions.
Mm-hmm.
And now here you are telling Bahamians again, you have collected $2.5 billion since VAT.
Where it is?
Do we look like a $2.5 billion kind of country?
Where it is?
Wolf Road paved yet? I hear you.
Where it is? Yeah, so y'all remember that. The government is y'all failed, drunk, alcoholic uncle that always asking you for more and more money.
Who does molest you on the side?
And wasting it, and wasting it every time, and you just continue to give him more money. So that makes no sense to me. But our problem is, you know what our problem is? We too teensy, right? We too like government to do for us. We like the government to be our daddy. We want the government to do everything for us.
Of course.
And people have to understand, if you want big government, which means government doing everything for you,
socialism.
If you want a socialist government, you can pay. You understand? That is going to cause you.
But
so
we don't mind paying if we see, for example, when you look at the $2.5 billion collected in VAT, why people still got to be standing outside social services at 6 a.m.
Man, listen, I passed it the other day. I was like, what's going on, man?
Do you ever pass the Fox Hill office? I used to pass it every day. Mm-hmm. It is abysmal. You ever pass Great Commission on Wolf Road? You see the line down to the light?
All the time.
So if we have all this money and we are paying for these so-called services and we're paying for the running of a nation, why are we so shitty? Like, for example, the light came on when just now? Because when I spoke to you earlier, the light was off.
Yeah. Well, that was a different issue. They had some issues with this building, yeah. So that gets sorted out.
Oh, I saw everybody like other people I know.
Oh, maybe it was BPL in other areas too. But that's a normal occurrence. You know what I mean? That ain't no surprise.
It's the first day of summer. Light done start. My thing is this, right? Until Bahamians have the courage, because basically there's very little you could do. Come July 1st, pay your damn VAT.
And that right there.
So there's very little Bahamians can do because they have not understood. Just how cabinet has the collective responsibility, Bahamians need to learn how to harness their collective power and stand up for something. And
but this is
going to be persecuted.
But this is why I advocate so much. Anytime you see election time coming, you always laugh. And Chrissy, I always blame you when it comes to this topic too.
Blame me?
Yeah, I blame you because no. Here's why: because y'all discourage people from voting for independents or third parties because y'all say they wasting their vote and it ain't making sense.
The history is such that it does look like a wasted vote.
Again, if you continue to oprate based on history, you will continue to do the same thing. If you could operate based on tradition, you can do the same thing.
Perry Christie would have been the prime minister.
But my thing is, why I blame y'all is because you and many others, it ain't just you who do it, but there's some other people too. Y'all are very influential and y'all can sway people into doing certain things, whether you admit it or believe it or not.
But don't you have your own brain?
Again, I understand. In a perfect world, everybody would have their own brain and think for themselves.
We in the same boat,
No, but
one pile of dog shit as opposed to two. I pick one pile.
No, but we keep picking between the two crap.
Shitty.
No, but there's the thing. And you just said it earlier, how you expect to get something different from doing the same thing? So if y'all continue to do the same thing, you can get the same thing.
Greg, but there are ways to affect change. And unfortunately, a lot of Bahamians aren't altruistic. Very few of us are going to give up our creature comforts and deal with pain in order to get the higher good. Very few of us are going to do that. So when one or two people doing it, it isn't as much of a force.
Well, you know what? I don't care what y'all do. I know what I doing. I am not voting for none of these major PLP or F&M party because I have seen
the PLP will be dead.
I've seen
once recent Vaughn and Frederick and Picewell and them formed their own party. Can you imagine seeing Brave Davis' face when they're in the opposition no more?
Well, to be honest, here's why I don't care. Oh no, here's another thing, right? For y'all people, for y'all that love landslide victories in elections, not you, Chrissy. I just speaking in general.
But
for y'all,
I don't think anyone likes that.
Yes, people like it because people. You know why? You know why I know that? Because people celebrate it, and I hear them bragging during election period anytime. Yes. Oh, you see that cut up? I mean, clean house. Yeah. Kill it. Take all the seats.
But nobody wants one person to have all the power. Because even if this
no. Don't say nobody. Don't say nobody.
Except the people who want to keep the status quo. Because so many Bahamians make money off of the chaos and crap in our country.
Yes, but that's my thing. For y'all that like landslide victories, this is exactly the problem with landslide victories in elections. When you have it one-sided, they could do whatever the hell they want. Now, see, if it was a little more balanced, if you had more opposition, you might have had a chance of this budget being rejected. But because let's say...
When has a budget been rejected in our nation's history?
But we have a history of having a lot of landslide victories. What was the last close election, and what was the number then?
That was when in 1997, I think, when F&M had my 37 seat. And
we usually have large margins of victories. The closest was probably back in 1967. We have had a lot of large victories. So the problem is when that happens, they could do whatever they want and pass whatever they want without opposition.
Bahamians have been so timid and passive for so many years. I guess our elected officials think and believe that we're not going to do anything because, like you say, once I give you a sweet contract, once I give you a sweet deal, a sweet position, you can shut your teeth and go along with the program because everybody want to take money out of our treasury. Mm-hmm. Everybody got their hands on the treasury money. Mm-hmm. But again, I don't mind you taking the treasury money. And I know I can't compare where I am to where I used to be.
I mind you taking it.
Well, a lot of people...
I mind you taking it, buddy.
A lot of people are just so passive and so content to be shitted upon that things just continue to get out of hand. And that's the sad part. Mm-hmm. That's the sad part. Because, again, I have a major problem. Like, I always bring up the fact of the former cabinet minister who purchased all that equipment for the Defense Force never worked, and yet we're left with the bill. When you look at how this F&M government broke down how much we owe, do you see how much we owe to the cruise companies?
This is, I was like, I listened.
You to come shit in our water.
I was like, wow, we owed, who agreed to these deals? And I mean, and I don't always agree with him, but he have a lot of good ideas. Graham Weatherford, right? I like the way he thinks.
What he said?
Man, listen, he was talking about the $171 billion in this country that is owned by foreign banks in the economy. Mm-hmm. Untaxed, nothing. He say if we could put a little percentage point of tax, we have no debt.
That's just it. You know, Bahamians, we
no debt.
And whine and moan. Why don't we?
This is what I'm saying. You know why? And I know why it is, right? It's because they're gonna tax us first because where we gain, what we can do. See, everyone knows, and when it comes
to captive audience,
and when it comes to negotiations, the key is leverage.
Yeah,
the Bahamian people, in our minds, have no leverage, and in their minds, have no leverage. When it comes to these rich foreign people, they have options. They can say, "Wait, listen, I can take my money and go." Yeah. You understand? So this is why, and like I say, it's a great idea from Graham. I agree. Hey, tax them if we don't have the tax.
But we have talked about that before. We have talked about taxing. You know, we all we do is talk. And the thing is, I always ask from when, and you know, I had high hopes because this is the first time when our prime minister is not the minister of finance. I was happy to see that we had actual people beside the technocrats who know about money. But it seems that we're making the same mistakes. The big Ministry of Finance, all them years, going to run up all them bills. Mm-hmm. And so what you was doing every day, like who in charge of accounts payable?
But see, if it ain't your money, you are more careless with it. You ain't work hard for it. It ain't yours. You ain't earned that. You understand? And again,
billion.
You know how much money the Bahamas is make off of aragonite?
Well, I remember you mean just the raw one, not the processed one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they taking out the process and make
a ton.
We just get $20,000 a year from that.
$20. I know it's a couple cents per tonnage.
So Travis Robinson's salary is more than what the whole country making off of aragonite.
Because
and salt.
I like that.
MP salary is more than what the country. What we make from aragonite, we can't pay one MP off of that.
But we again
think about that.
Forget about aragonite. Look at the fact that our deals that we have with foreign entities who are in our country just chilling. Mm-hmm. And they paying you a small stipend. Mm-hmm. You know, whoever's in charge of keeping the books from 1973, they've done a piss poor and abysmal job. Our auditors general, we've had several auditors general. The latest one, Bastian, has been raked over the coals for trying to put some order in it. We all know the first one, demerit. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Sorry. No, he didn't. And he was loyal to party. So he was letting the money spill out. You know, We've never had someone who goes, you know what? Country first.
Oh, please.
I am loyal to the Bahamas, even though I may be a PLP, an FNM, a UBP, whatever. And that's one thing, you know, yes, the whole color and race crap was a part of the deal when the UBP was in power. But it seemed that we were running the country with sense. There were checks and balances. Yeah, they used to call us, you know, all kind of names and we couldn't go on different shops. But I just think that how can we allow ourselves to continue to just act like this a ball till you fall kind of party?
Well, and again, it seems as though we continue to negotiate from our knees. Like we always got to do. Yeah, we always begging someone, hey, please, could you do this for me? Don't worry. I can give you everything. I can give you some land. I can give you the tax free. You ain't got to pay no taxes. I can give you all these concessions. Please, just come. Please.
We always begging. Paying 12% VAT?
Well, they say they're restructuring the Oban heads of agreement. They say they're working on it. They're going to change it up and switch some things.
Not fucking it up from the beginning?
Thank you. But they say the Bahamian people are going to be pleased with this new heads of agreement. That's what they say.
Why we had to show our skin for you to wake up and realize something was wrong. Like, you know, like I say, I just make a joke about it, but I really believe that nerve gas they dump over our waters, I believe that has affected us generations in. Because we just do some dumb shit and just, like, don't understand why we doing it. Just doing it.
Because we a bunch of sudden people. That's all it is.
Stop sudden, because look what it's gotten us. Gotten us.
I agree, and that's why now I hope with all of these things happening, hopefully people are paying, and I think they are paying a lot more attention, but I hope it's sustained. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to just freak out and row on Facebook and comment and post status, and then after it passed, you want to something else. Well, I hope it is sustained.
I think the minister should just raise VAT to 25%. get Bahamians really mad, and then maybe they'll do something.
You don't think they're mad now, Chrissy?
No, this is fake outrage.
You think so? No, man, I think this is genuine.
My gum. But what are they doing?
Well, you saw.
You're stomping your feet.
Have you seen the support for the MPs after they voted no?
Yes, I saw Travis's videos in Bain.
Travis video done got more than 100,000 views of him just walking through the constituency. And you know what I think Travis is playing the F&M party like a fiddle.
I've seen that.
I think he is playing them like a fiddle. I think he is a very smart young man. Now, you know, I wasn't too fond of him joining the F&M. You remember when that happened?
Many people weren't. I was surprised, too, because I knew him as the independent person.
Right, and I wasn't a big fan of that. I still ain't a big fan.
Gonna get them? What is that popularity going to get them? Because people in Baintown cheering for you, they cheering for you by outdoor toilet and open cesspit.
Yeah, but then, see, you notice, and you notice, Chrissy, with most Bohemians, perception is reality. True. It don't have to necessarily be the truth or reality, but what they perceive as the truth is the truth to them. So in their eyes, these people stand up for them against the leader, and so they have their support right now. Now, how long it's going to last,
I hope it's sustainable.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say they were smart to do this in the first year, because it's a lot of time until the next election. Now, will the Bahamian people remember this and
it ain't that long
and go into the boot? No, I agree. It ain't that long because time flying. But a lot of things can happen in the next 4 years. So will it transfer into the next general election? I sure hope so. But I think Travis is using evidence. He used them to get elected, and he saw this situation as one where he can take advantage and look like the person that is speaking up and representing for the people. Yeah, and that's what he did,
too. You know,
which was a good move.
Their ego stroked. Everybody needs their ego stroked and they're minute in the spotlight. Like I've seen them doing the rounds on in the media. You know, everybody want their billet. Everybody want shine and be seen. But at the end of the day, how is that helping the greater good?
Well, we'll see. And again, like I say, people, I will always tell you, if you vote for PLP and F&M, this is what you're going to get. They've been showing you for decades what they into. So don't cry and moan and complain about it after you done cast your ballot for the crab and the torch. This is what you're going to get.
Cry and moan and do something and start where you are.
What you can do? You can't do nothing till election.
Community.
You ain't see. Listen, the people that show you have no say. Carl Bettel say, listen, you could go in Parliament and talk all you want, but when it's time to cast your vote and that whip on, your mortgage is to the party, buddy. I don't care who.
When the whip is on, and you know those Bahamians who watch House of Cards, when the whip is on, you got to again. Unless if you don't want to be in that party, then you can move away.
And why are we still calling it whip in our history of slavery? Why are we still referring to the whip?
Well, the whip, remember now, we have stolen everything we do from Britain. You know, of Great Britain, it's the same reason why we wear them retarded wigs. The whip,
I don't understand all this damn
minority whip. You know, and you know, students who are political animals, I personally don't give a shit about politics. I tell you, I'm patriotic, not political. I just hate to see my people always getting harvest. Okay, again, you have people coming over here who ain't paying their fair share. And you have no qualms about putting more burden on your people.
Of course, because we are the
I hate the puppeteers behind the scene. When I saw them old crooked PLP politicians coming out, I had a problem with that. It was good to see the people getting together and expressing their angst, but at the same time, what was the end game?
Again, yeah, but you see, they had your boy running and skipping, man. Minister of National Security had all kind of escort trying to keep him safe as he was trying to scurry away.
Well, it's sad that people felt the need to have missiles and projectile items aimed at the legislators, and it shows
and that takes away from it.
Under socialized and don't know how to act when they're in public. But I hate the people, the very same people who have put our country in the shithole are the ones coming out there protesting and kissing babies and shaking hands. I had a problem with that. And like I said before, and people said I was mean when I said it, you know, keep your corned beef does sound good. But I told Bahamians, you know, we love you dearly, but a lot of you are undereducated, under-socialized, and you don't have the ability to turn your nose up at the corned beef.
What is this?
Because you have made your life in a certain way based on your choices. Because for the life of me, and people say, well, Chrissy, that's easy for you to say with your, middle class perch or privilege. I don't think we would have privilege, but I don't understand how you could come out of school illiterate, innumerate, and uneducable when school is free. Value education. Value something beside tree for $5 and try color wave.
Well, that is
having 6 children at the age of 26.
Well, that is a major problem, and I don't even, to be honest with you, it's so deep rooted at this point and so widespread. I don't even know how we're going to correct that. The social degradation in this country is really, really sad and really tough. I don't know how we're going to get over that hump, but I try my best to make people aware of certain things. Hopefully it reaches these people, and hopefully they at least take it into consideration. Like I said, I ain't trying to tell you what to do with your life. That's your life.
Well, education free now. So carry your ass back to school and stop bitching. Like I remember I had a person who used to work for me, and I remember telling me, well, Chrissy, I think it's unfair that I only make $200 a week. Just part-time, mind you. And I said, well, let's look at your skill set. Let's look at what you do here at the restaurant. Let's look at what you bring to the table. Let's look at the times when you eat chicken inside my restaurant when I sell in vegetables. Let's look at all the stupid shit you do. And let's look at some of your poor choices. A lot of times you are earning the salary that you're earning because of your poor choices. And so people need to do some introspection. The worst thing for us is to look within and try change what we need to change. Because people don't want to do that.
Because that's hard. We ain't raised to be accountable.
Continue doing the same shit and expect something different. Carry on.
That's why I say if you continue to vote for the crab and the torch.
Just think about voting for the crab and the torch, because there are ways to keep the crab and the torch. There are ways where you could be, for example, tell us. You ever been to a branch meeting? When I lived in the Bahamas, I used to go to my branch meetings.
But what does that do, Chrissy? Because again, if you go, let's say you go to all your constituency meetings and all of that stuff, you all voice your opinions on all kind, whatever issues.
But are you acting towards solutions?
Hold on, let me get it out. If you go to your meetings and this is on full display right now. You go to your meetings, you tell your MP, no, this is what we want, blah 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 blah. When the government presents something that is not in line with what your constituents want, if you have a government position, which most of them do, you must vote in line with what the government wants. So your voice, after you already vote for these people, guess what? Your voice means nothing until the next election.
But aren't there ways you can still work towards your goal?
In terms of what? You mean personal goal or?
If you're an MP and you're also in the cabinet and you didn't agree with the VAT increase, aren't there ways for you to look in your community and say, you know what? Well, what can I do to make the lives of my constituents better? I think a lot of times we expect government to be our savior, our mummy, our daddy, our fixer, our cleaner, our cleanser. But we are not willing to do the work for ourselves. And unfortunately, that is the lesson that we have learned. You said this at the top of the show. The lesson that we have learned as Bohemians is that somebody can take care of you. Either your Joshua, your Moses, your Papa, we want someone to take care of us. We have this messianic worship of those who are elected to serve us.
We have it backwards.
Until you flip that script, you're going to always feel that you're helpless. You're going to always feel that you don't have the means and the ways to do the things that are going to be beneficial to you. And it is a hard road. Being an iconoclast is not easy. Being an outspoken person is not easy. Being a person who's a change agent, it's not easy. But if you're tired of having the same shit piled on you, then truly you're going to still do your best to try scour your way out of it. It's like falling in the cesspit.
But that's what I'm saying. This you all understand. You need to know how your system works so you can vote accordingly.
Well, now you know. I hope that this is a civics lesson for everybody. Again,
yes.
Hopefully the Ministry of Education will bring back civics and teaching our country. You have a lot of people who inhabit the Bahamas who have no clue about how things work.
Yeah.
They have just like how they were thinking that because of what happened with Travis, Vaughn, Frederick, and Reese, they felt that they were no longer MPs. The fact that they don't understand the system.
Yes.
And the thing, and again, we talk about the D-average and we make light of it. And again, that's a challenge when your people are undereducated, under-socialized, basically inept, cannot form a cogent thought, cannot have social graces, cannot function. If you take a lot of Bahamians out of the Bahamas, very few of them can function. And that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
That is a sad thing that 45 years after independence, we still have people who are basically like the coddle slaves in the fishing village who believe they have no rights. So where's the progression? Where's the forward motion? And
Exactly.
that's what irks me about my country. Where's the forward motion?
But that's a sad reality, and that's what we have to deal with, and that's what we have to fix. And hopefully, by doing shows like this, we could get people to tune in and learn
No, it's anger.
some of these things.
Anger is going to make them change. Come July 1st, everybody going to be hot as a six.
Well, see, that's the thing. Anger is just anger. Anger itself is not going to help you to change anything. It might cause you to do something stupid.
No, it'll propel you to do something. Anger.
Again. But it could propel you to do something stupid, like throw water on the MP or chase the minister down the road. You understand? So you need to channel that anger wisely and use that anger to inform yourself so that you can know how to change this situation, so that you can know what to do, so that you don't have to consistently be getting angry at these things in the future. That's what you need to do with that anger. Use it to educate yourself and learn. Okay, how does this work? Why was he able to do this to them? I don't think this is right. Why is this here? Why haven't we changed this? How can we change this? What do we change it to? So this is what we need to be doing, is asking ourselves these questions. I don't think we're having that discussion as to what.
No, we don't do introspection.
And that's what I'm saying. We don't have a common loftier goal. And this is why it seems like a rudderless ship.
That's the common loftier goal. Be common.
Yeah, and that's why it seems like a rudderless ship. What is our goal? What do we really want? Because it seems as though the people want something different from what the actual government wants. Well, and the people are supposed to be a part of the government.
Regular people, though.
Say again?
They wanted that when they were regular people. I know many people in this government and the last government who used to bitch and whine just like me and you. But the minute that blue plate, remember we call it the dazzling blue plate.
Hey, look at your boy. Plate? Look at your boy. You look at your boy who who apparently now blocked me on Facebook. I see. I get blocked. I say, well, mother, what I do or say about this boy? He touchy. I ain't even say nothing about him and I get blocked. But
I heard about that and I was like, damn, it's like that.
That's what I'm saying. I was surprised. I was like, okay, I mean, I ain't looking for no friends. I mean, you could block me if you want. That don't mean nothing to me. I don't care. But it just goes to show you how people, and just like what you just said, one second, you're all fighting for the people and, we got to do this, blah, blah. The minute you get one little position or something, all of a sudden your thoughts change and money, your actions change, and it's a whole different story.
Plate, and you realize with a government blue plate, you basically have valet parking all over the country?
Yeah.
For free?
Well, you
know what a benefit that is?
No, I don't know. No, I don't know, because anytime I go places with little funny eyes, have to be like, any police around here? Mother's like, I wonder if I could park here. I wonder if they could tow my car. Let me go drive further up because I want my car.
You always guaranteed a parking spot on Bay Street.
See, I know what that feels like. That is? I don't know. Unfortunately, no. I need to go make up one blue plate and put it on my guy. Because I don't know what that feel like. I don't know what it feels like.
Like my Uncle Reg used to say, cheapest.
Cheapest way.
Cheap as well. Like,
cheap as well?
Cheap as well.
That's sick.
But Greg, at the end of the day, the good part about all this dialogue is that it's spurring Bahamians to think about their surroundings.
Yes.
And think about the things that are sadly being done to them.
Yes.
Now, there's some things being done for you. And, hopefully you will take advantage of the concessions and the gifts given under the budget.
Yeah, there's some good things in there. A lot of
people want to go back to school. I've met many people who want to go back to school because I think human beings want to better themselves. Yes. I believe even the lousiest piece of shit human being, it wants to step up and do a little better.
I agree.
So hopefully Bahamians, it'll spur them on to seize the opportunity. What the Latin phrase say? Carpe diem. Seize the day, seize the opportunity, and better yourself.
Yes. Hopefully that's what happens, because there are some good things in the budget. You know what I mean? It's not all bad, but everybody see the raise and tax it. Oh my God!
Of course.
Flush it down the toilet. Yeah, but I mean, I hope people sustain this level of not only awareness but wanting to take action, because, like I said, I saw when McAlpine landed in Grand Bahama. I mean, looked like the whole Grand Bahama going to the airport to go greet him. As he arrived, and he had to cry how touching it was, you know what I mean? And then with Travis, like I said, walking through his constituency and the people embracing him and encouraging him. So hopefully that is sustained throughout the next 4 years. So come next general election, you all remember these things.
I hope so. And
remember
start in your community.
Yes.
People like to bitch and whine And I say this all the time. As a matter of fact, Anku says it on the shows we used to do all the time. You want change your nation? Start in your room.
Thank you.
Not even in your community. Start in your room.
Thank you.
And so I hope it spurs people to start right where they are. We say this all the time. Grow where you are planted. Thrive where you are presently. But people always want, they want to be on the world stage when they're ready for prime time. Get ready for prime time. Practice. Put your work in. And then you could step on the big stage. Don't come on the porch. If you can't stomp at the big dog, stay your ass on the porch. So this will make Bahamians try. And again, not the political spin doctors and the same people who was cursing Travis out one time ago. Now he's their love of their life. I was looking at some of these people who support Brave. They might be like, but you was just calling that boy everything. But I remember my show. I remember reading some of the comments on my show that I did with Travis. You was calling these same people, a warrior, champion. People looking for someone to co-sign on their shit all the time.
Yeah. See, and like I said, taking responsibility and taking the action is the hardest thing to do, it seems, for a lot of people. And so we're looking for somebody else. Yeah, it is. You actually have to do something. So we're looking for somebody else to take up that mantle for us. You know what I mean? And that's why you see all these people like waiting for the next Moses to lead them to the promised land.
Well, we've been taught that. Remember now, when the Bahamas became a nation, I remember one of the earliest slogans of the then governing party was, "Give me your hand, I'll care for you."
Wow.
Okay, now, we want you to care for us, but make it such that I could care for myself.
That is your job. Your job is to make sure that you create an environment for your citizens to thrive.
Yep.
That is what, but it seems as though we creating an environment for them to thrive. You understand?
You come in power with $1 to your name and one breakdown car. And now all of a sudden, you's a big land mogul and you's a big entrepreneur.
That's what I'm saying. So it seems as though we, the citizens,
Bahamians like getting grind.
We are, well, that's the juiciness nation on the planet. You know what I mean?
Grind, Bahamas.
I say it all the time. We like to get juice. We like the juice. We like to get juice. You understand? Lubrication or not, we don't care. Just put it in.
Juice. What's that song by Novi?
Just throw it in. That's all we like. But anyhow, people,
man, again.
Yeah, just put it in, man. I just need that good feeling. Just give me a little good feeling for this couple of seconds.
I only can put the head in.
That's what they're telling you now. I need only 4.5%. Only 4.5.
Yeah,
that's the head.
Put the head in. I ain't gonna put in the shoulders. I can't stand some of our people. They just gall me.
But that's what we like. Hopefully it changed soon. But anyway, we ain't gonna hold up for too long. Like I said, a draft coming on. I want to watch DeAndre Ayton go number 1. Go Bahamas. Go Bohemians. This is a proud moment.
Go what? What DeAndre is? Go what?
Go Bahamas.
Go what?
Go Bahamas, sweet girl. What's your problem is?
Is claim Haitians when they doing good things,
man, boy. Listen,
they claim Haitians
watch
when they doing shit.
Watch your flecking mouth, boy. That's a Bohemian.
Boy.
Watch your mouth, King. Yeah. I've been watching this boy from high school.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the collective you.
I know what you mean. I know, because you know how Bahamians go. But hey, don't forget,
straw house. Y'all had him to Raggy.
I just going to say, don't forget, there was just Raggy and him a couple weeks ago. Raggy and him talking about him dead bad. Shappy and him.
Go, DeAndre.
I say go. Listen, the boy can change generations to come in his family. You know what I mean? There's
no more straw house.
No more straw house, especially not for him. I think he done get a contract with Puma already, so now that can just be in addition to the NBA contract.
Because it's good to see when people come up, especially us black folk.
Yes.
And I'm most proud. You know me. I think of his mama. I tell you, the mamas has touched my heart. When I see them on the interviews, I be like, child, look here.
Yeah, man. You know what that must feel like?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Draft coming on? The last time I watched
7
the draft
coming on in a half hour.
Okay, the last time I watched was when Michael was the number 1 pick. Thompson.
Really? What year that was? I couldn't remember the year. What year it was?
1976.
Okay, I know it was in the 70s. Yeah.
77. Me, my daddy, DeWitt, all of the family was watching it. Anyway, you know what? You all have fun with your draft pick. I don't give a shit about basketball. Man. Tonight is the premiere of Queen of the South. Yeah, I'm going to go watch Cocaine and Cartel.
I know what that is. I ain't watching that. I can't watch the draft.
You enjoy the draft. But Greg, kudos to you for having the conversations that people don't like to have.
Listen, this is what we do, and I appreciate you for always being there, always assistant. I think it's a good.
I want to pop you in your gizzard sometimes.
Yeah, man, and I think it's a good dynamic because we oftentimes come from different perspectives. You know, we in completely different age brackets because you know you born way long time ago. and I still pretty young. So it's a good balance.
Wait. Long. It's all of that. It's all of flipping that. Wait, long.
Hey, listen, like we say, anytime someone try and tease you about your age, always tell them it beats the alternative, eh? You're still here, you're still kicking, you're still alive, you're still healthy, you still look good, your skin's still smooth. You can, thank you, skin clean. You understand? So that's what you tell them anytime someone want to try to tease you about your age. But I appreciate you greatly. Listen, and last week was 100 episode, Chrissy. You missed 100.
I missed 100 episode. That's right. I watched it later on. Greg, congratulations.
Thank you. That's us, man. That's all we.
You may be the longest consistent running talk show in the country.
No, sir. No.
Because because immediate responses always take a break. That don't count.
Well, I mean, maybe internet wise, but maybe not even, because I think maybe 10 year seniors might have that. But I mean, as in terms of video show, we might be the longest internet video show.
Yes, 100 episodes is a lot.
Yeah, this 101, and then it's all possible because
100 episodes. Did you tell them about the donate button? So
we did. Yes, go undertherug.com if you would like to contribute financially. We have a donation section. You can go to goundertherug.com and donate that way. But don't only go there for to donate. You can also find the shows. You have all the shows listed there. So if you miss some of the shows, you could go there to catch up.
Donate.
And also we just we got someone watching from Japan. Hey, Philandro Smith.
Hi.
Watching from Japan. But if you want to please go ahead and subscribe.
Japanese.
I don't know.
Besides sushi. Oh, I have a Japanese word. Hold on. That's so nice to say. Okay, what it is? Do itashimashite.
Oh, I don't know what that means. But anyhow, Chrissy, tell them where they can find you, man.
Child, every day I be on YouTubes. I be live streaming. YouTubes on the
What the name? What the name is?
My show name, Chrissy Love Live to the world.
To the world. Not just the Bahamas, but the world.
I am the world.
Top flight security to the world, Craig.
To the world. So
not just the city, the world.
Greg, you could be to the world too.
Yeah, hey, we to the world now, because like you see Japan. I see someone who was watching from Florida earlier. So we got people watching from all over the world. And like I said, this is possible because of people like you, Chrissy, all of the guests we've had. We have Jay all the time. We had Gail.
How is that trap, CJ?
Jay right there. Jay's still stirring up the pot all the time. Always stirring the pot.
Whoever stirs the pot needs to lick the friggin' spoon.
So Jay right there stirring the pot. But for the many guests that we've had on, the special guests, the co-hosts, we appreciate it. And for people like you that are watching every day, that tune into the live stream via Facebook, to you that are tuning in on YouTube, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Under the Rug Podcast. For you that listen on SoundCloud, we appreciate all of you, and it's all possible because you guys tune in. And Emil is saying that's a great website you have. Why, thank you, Emil.
It is a great website.
Thank you so much.
Because of you.
Go ahead, and soon I can start adding some more merch as we add shows, because we got a couple of new shows coming out. I don't want to talk too much about them yet, but they could be hot as well. So stay tuned.
Give me one next shirt.
Which one? Oh, you want one next? Well,
we can make excuses, because my shirt I leave at home. I need you to ship me one shirt in America.
Hit Gail up. Gail got all the shirts.
Okay, I can reach out to Gail.
Yeah, hit Gail and tell her you need one next one. But anyway, we're going to push out people. We appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. Thank you so much. Bye, Christina. Appreciate it. Thank you, folks. Go undertherug.com is the website. Like our Facebook.
I could advertise something on your show before I go.
Man, you ain't got to ask. Go ahead.
Okay, I keep forgetting. The coastal can chop me. I'm having a retreat. You may remember in 2010, I started having retreats all over the Bahamas. I'm having one in Florida this year from August 3rd to August 6th, over the August Monday holiday. If you're interested, please send me an email at therealchrissylove@gmail.com. It's going to include all your meals, all your body care essentials, your classes, your seminars. We can teach you how to defunctify your life. So check me out.
And plenty people funky.
This weekend.
Plenty people funky need some defunctify.
For true. Sour.
Good stuff, though. I'm glad you're doing it. You know what I mean? I know that up your alley, too.
Into my thing. I try to get back into
That's good, man. That's good.
Every time I try to walk away from this entrepreneur growth, it is be calling me back.
Hey, it in you can't get rid of it.
It is be calling me. It's be calling
man, you can't get rid of it. That's like the WAP. You can't get rid of that. Once you got that, that's it. That one game over.
Greg, you are silly. So anyway, WhatsApp me and tell me where DeAndre going.
All right, I will.
I hope he cut off that high top fade.
Will he get into Phoenix? If he go number one, he go into Phoenix. Phoenix got the number one pick, so more than likely that's where he
in Phoenix. What they name? Phoenix what?
Suns.
Oh yeah, Suns. Yes, because they're hot as shit in Arizona.
Yeah, so at least he done used to heat, so he getting somewhere with hot anyway.
How much money he can get?
Plenty, more than we could ever imagine.
need to. And I just sent him one private note on Twitter, must be about a year ago. I need to follow up with that.
You better.
I was asking him for an interview about a year ago when he was playing at Arizona University, or where he was again.
Yeah, he was in Arizona. Yeah.
Okay, I got to follow up on that. He got money. Wonder if he want to adopt me and win. I wonder if I could tell him I was Haitian too.
Anyhow, on that note, folks, we gone. See y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Bye.